Rahim. Today we are going to start and finish inshallah chapter number 4. Chapter number 4 talks about objectives. Objectives are the aims or targets of a business. When we talk about aims, we talk about different types of aims, because in an organization, when we are talking about a particular organization, there are different levels of management. And along with the different levels of management, we are going to have different levels of objectives as well. Those different levels of objectives which are there in an organization according to different levels of management are called hierarchy of objectives. So different levels of objectives, we are talking about different levels of objectives which exist according to different levels of management. So different levels of objectives according to different levels of management are called hierarchy of objectives. When we are talking about hierarchy of objectives, all the objectives, they are to be implemented. And when all the objectives of an organization are implemented in such a way that they are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time specific, that process of implementing all the objectives of an organization in a smart way, that is, all the objectives are fitting the SMART criteria. The SMART criteria means S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time specific. So all the objectives, when they are implemented in a smart way throughout the organization, the process is called management by objectives. Coming back to hierarchy of objectives, there are different levels of objectives. The first one, the top one, is the aim. Aims are the goals or targets of a business. They are the long-term goals or targets of a business. For example, if we are talking about long-term goals, every business is trying to maximize profits. So when maximizing profits is the main aim of the organization, the long-term goal of an organization, we are talking about the top part or the first part of the level of objectives, which is called the aim or long-term goals of the business. After the long-term goals, we are jumping downwards to the second level. The second level of hierarchy is basically of hierarchy of objectives is basically mission or mission statement. That is a motivating statement which is there to motivate all the groups associated with an organization. So aims, then the second level is mission, then the third level is corporate objectives. When we are talking about corporate objectives, the corporate objectives are the overall aims of an organization when they are quantifiable, when they are expressed in numerical terms. So when profit maximization, for example, is the aim of an organization, and when we say that the maximization has to take place up to 80% of the current profit or 90 or 100% of the current profit, now we are assigning numbers to the objectives. So now when a business is able to express its long-term aims in terms of numerical values, we are talking about corporate objectives. Now the corporate objectives in a large-scale organization, they have to be divided and subdivided into different parts. So when we drill down from aims to mission statement and then corporate objectives, further we are moving downwards to divisional objectives. Now the divisions can be geographical divisions or they can be product-based divisions. So the main aim was profit maximization. We came down to a motivational statement which was there to keep all the stakeholders, all the groups associated with the organization motivated. Then we jumped onto the corporate objectives, which are the quantifiable or numerical objectives of an organization. From numerical objectives, we jump downwards and we move towards divisional objectives. For example, there are 3 divisions: Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad. Each of them, are going to act according to their potential. For example, if the corporate objectives are 80%, then Karachi is going to be most probably assigned a target of 100% profit, Lahore 90%, and Islamabad maybe 70% according to their respective potentials. From divisional objectives, we move downwards and we move towards a type of objectives which are called departmental objectives. So divisional to departmental, because each division is going to have its own respective departments, and each of the departments need to perform appropriately in order to contribute towards the divisional objectives. So divisional to departmental, and from departmental objectives, the last level of objectives is what you call as individual targets. So the individuals working in each department are also assigned targets. So when individual targets are met, they contribute towards departmental objectives. When departmental objectives are met, they contribute towards meeting the divisional objectives. When all the divisions perform to the best of their ability and reach their assigned targets, corporate aims are met, and the corporate aims are then going to lead to matching the overall aims or meeting the overall aims of the organization. The whole chapter revolves around objectives. After that, after discussing the hierarchy of objectives and management by objectives and the SMART perspective, we jump on to one of the terminologies which are related to this particular chapter. Most of the students tend to miss that, that is why I have to mention it. It is not necessarily there in the key terms. We are talking about corporate culture. Corporate culture refers to the norms, attitudes and behavior of a group of individuals related to an organization. So when we are talking about corporate culture, it is made up of two words, corporate and culture. Corporate means related to the organization, and culture means the way people carry themselves. So a combination of these two words is basically going to be the norms, attitudes and behaviors of a group of individuals related to a business. This corporate culture, is basically dependent upon the sector of organization. For example, if we are going to a private sector organization, it is going to exhibit a completely different type of culture as compared to a public sector organization. Furthermore, leadership styles, or the size of the organization are also factors which can affect a corporate culture of an organization. Then again, after that, when we are moving forward, this is the last particular definition of this chapter, after which we are going to end the chapter, that is called corporate social responsibility. Now, corporate social responsibility is a terminology which is related to another terminology or a set of terminologies, that we studied in chapter number 1, that is triple bottom line and social enterprise. Now, a business which is able to reinvest some part of its profit back into the society is called a social enterprise, and a business which follows its economic, social and environmental responsibilities, that is the triple bottom line, is basically, a business which is called to be following corporate social responsibility. So corporate social responsibility is the responsibility of an enterprise to keep all the stakeholders satisfied by reinvesting some part of its profit back into the society and by following its triple bottom line. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.